I present to you the one and only. He's very easy on the eyes. Jason Solis. Good morning, Jason.
Joe Sir's hosting this next interview. Okay, well, thank you very much, and like very very fitting that the title of the song is "We Can't Stop, We Won't Stop," because our dear friend Beauty Camacho, very very aptly named, beautiful spirit, beautiful, talented, a creative dynamo if there ever was one. She has been on the show in a variety of capacities. She's been a member of our political forum. She very graciously shared a very emotional story of what she went through in her personal life with her relationships. And now, Ms. Camacho, Beauty, we can say you are a best-selling author. So congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, no, of course. And so, like, you are part of a anthology of a book called When Women Heal.
Yes.
And unbelievable. And like I'm looking at the press release for this book, and even looking at some of the pictures and everything like that, and knowing your story already, what you've been through, some of the trials and tribulations you've had in your life, it actually really puts you at the forefront in this. And it says, Beauty tells this amazing story of where she believes she was on a very destructive path with toxicity in your life, and then you just made the conscious decision to say, I'm going to concentrate on myself, and I want to manifest success. I want to manifest happiness, and I want to be the best me I can be. So can you take us like through that journey and everything?
Absolutely. Oh man, I think everyone can pretty much say I've always been a happy person, even though I've been going through all the things that I've been through. But I think in the recent years, it's just coming to light for many people as I continue to be transparent with what I've been through. And I've only started to be transparent, not just because it helps me, because I've seen the impact and the ripple effect of how it's helped other people with me talking about all of the different types of things that I've been through. And, this collaborative book, I'm just one chapter out of it. And it was a bit of a challenge to just try to summarize everything that I've experienced. So I had to kind of stick within a certain theme. And it's just so funny how fitting it was, because my theme for my chapter is about storms. And I was just like, this is hilarious with the storm that's coming through, and how I was able to, like, I personally love storms and love preparing for them, because it brings about like a freshness to the island. It brings about like a fresh, like when the air is ionized and everything, you can really sense that energy. And like my favorite part about it is really just cleaning up all the beautiful mess that the storm has made, of course, despite any of the struggles that we have been through. But that's where the preparedness comes in, right? And that's pretty much what the book is about, and what my story is how I learned how to prepare for these storms that I've been through in my life, as well as how to heal from all of it. So yeah, the stories are quite alarming for some of the people who are starting to read more about me, only because I come off as such a really positive person all the time, and they don't necessarily know all of the things that I've had to go through, because I don't show that in my life.
And
really.
you're still a human being. I mean, and these things would affect anybody. And I mean, the fact that you've been able to handle it with such class and such grace is a testament to your character. But at the same time, you're very, very open, and you're like, okay, well, hopefully having dealt with these things the way you have and everything, as you said, could help somebody else. So can you kind of take me through the process, though? Because we've talked with you, a number of times on this show, and we've always known you to be a great conversationalist, but being able to articulate, what you've been through to the printed page is a completely different experience and everything like that. So creatively and everything, did you find that more challenging? Did you find it liberating to be able to share, your story?
Oh man, it's always been liberating for me. I've loved writing ever since I was a little girl, but I think the way I write is definitely different from how I speak, and of course because you're able to edit it and things like that. But I have really enjoyed the process of representing my new brand by just promoting more arts and authorship and advocacy. So that's where all of my books and all the different writing material come in. And yeah, it's just so much, it's so much more fun to be able to see your actual expressions on a printed material. Like I've seen my work in the newspaper, or of course a graded homework or things like that, essays, but to see it bounded and glued, and you have your name there on the pages of a book, it's a way different feeling. And then to be labeled an international bestseller, like on the same day of the launch, like that was mind-blowing, because for me, I don't recall ever being a goal of ours in the Story Mind group. So that was a beautiful surprise for me.
Yeah, I do want to accentuate the fact. So everybody listening, make sure to head to Amazon and look up Beauty's book. So again, it's When Women Heal, because Brie, you're going to love this. As Beauty just articulated, right? The day it launched, became #1 Amazon bestseller in over 10 different categories, including #1 in inspiration and spirituality, which is amazing because you actually bumped off the person whose book was at the #1 time, Jay Shetty, who, if you've been on the internet, you know that he's a motivational speaker. He tries to, share words of wisdom. And by the way, I've just always wanted to use the word Shetty on the radio. So, but the fact that you actually bumped him off, it shows, the impact, and just the truth of your book. So what does that mean to you that it's been able to, not in a commercial sense, but the fact that it's been able to reach so many people, and people have obviously shared this with their friends and said, like, this book has really affected me in positive ways. It's forced me to confront a lot of dark places that I kind of hid from before and everything like that. So this obviously is the main motivation behind why you put this together.
Yeah, definitely. It was so cool. Like we had a lot of more social goals with this book to impact our family and friends in the ways that we were aware of how we were going to impact our family and friends, but we weren't necessarily able to understand the different ways. But so many of them have come through and just said, you know what, this is so nice to read. It's refreshing because other people in their families aren't able to talk about these topics, or they're saying stuff like, family secrets have been tearing families apart for the longest time, when in reality, it could have been squashed out with was adult conversation and forgiveness and more healing and understanding, and just understanding perspective, and not necessarily accepting that perspective, but understanding it, and just being there for each other, saying, hey, I don't really understand what you are going through, but I'm here for you and I still love you. And that's like the bottom line. And even with the book itself, it's also an internal transformation for ourselves as the writers and the reader, where we can also say to ourselves, like, I love you as you are, and you are enough within our own being, and not necessarily having to, always consider what other people are thinking about.
Thank you for bringing that up, because I was going to say, the power of your own, distinct, unique voice is so much more amplified because it's many voices put together, and, you've got authors, from different cultural backgrounds. Generationally, everybody's different. Everyone's life experience, everyone has different journeys and everything like that. So in the aggregate, you're really getting, a mixed bag, but in a very, all centered towards the same destination. Would you agree?
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
And this book by no means is just for women. I mean, it's definitely got like a very powerful female like slant to it, which is amazing. But by no means is this just, for women by women book.
Yeah, it's a great read for anyone. The only one I would caution is if maybe tweens or teenagers were reading it, to have it kind of maybe supervised by an adult who's able to comprehend, or who's able to just reiterate what the thoughts are in there. Just there in the beginning of the book, we do have some safety features there and some resources and reference, because there are some really heavy topics that are talked about. And then, of course, there's myself. All of my information is in the back of my chapter also, so that people can reach out to me if they need anything clarified, or if they want to express anything that they've read. It is also a business book. So if anybody feels like they're kind of staggering in their business, or they're not necessarily aware of how to pivot or why they're not able to pivot or reach those up levels, there are a lot of, there's a lot of guidance in the books within that as well, or within the chapters as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And, again, because we know you so well, we know, how multidimensional you are, and, you've got your personal side, you've got your creative side, you've got, the side of you that's very, very funny, and you find, the healing power of laughter, and then you've got your entrepreneurial side. At the same time, you bring all of these things together, and you use these to, to inspire others and everything like that. So in closing, what would your lasting message be before we give people and say, go to Amazon and buy this book right now? What can they expect to get out of this?
Absolutely. I think what would be a great close would just be a reminder to let people know that no matter what they've been through in life, there is the opportunity to heal, but you have to let go of whatever it was that hurt you in order to do so. And that's the hardest part for many people, is not letting go, not necessarily forgiving, but not letting go of whatever or whoever it was that hurt you. Because if you continue to hold on, you're doing so much more damage than it is to finally have that relief, So that's the main theme of the book, of course, is the power of healing. And then but some of it doesn't really speak about the opportunity to heal before you even read the book, because you're like, oh, great, that happened for you. That's perfect. That's perfect, lady. That's great that it happened for you. But then what about me, So as a reader, I would love to just, invite people to read with an open mind, that the possibilities and the opportunities are available for them as well, as long as they keep their eyes open to all those little chances. And it's a nice opportunity too, because my chapter is kind of like the cliffhanger on the sample format for Amazon Kindle, so you can read some more into that. Chapter 1 and a bit of my chapter are available for free in the teaser section of the Amazon Kindle.
I love
option.
Those, and at the same time, those drive me nuts, Beauty, because it's like, I'm so ingrained in like your story, and you're weaving this incredible tale. It's like, and I really knew I was growing as a person, and I could tell I was becoming who I always wanted to be, and then ...
Right, like, okay, right, exactly, and that's why
buy, and then hit buy now. Smash that buy now button, you guys. Support Beauty, because she's poured her heart and soul into this, you guys, and it really is, it's paying dividend to you, because it's an enterprise that you got into and everything like that, but you're doing it for much, your aspirations are much larger than that, because you're doing it to help people, and for that, we can't thank you enough.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. And yes, the support from the book, as well as funds donated from supporters and proceeds from the book launch, garnered about $10,000, and we donated all of that to the National Association for People Abused in Childhood, and they're an organization based in the UK.
Thank you. And again, this book has an international appeal, because a lot of the people in this anthology book, Beauty's co-authors and everything like that, strong, powerful, deep, insightful women from all over the world and everything like that. And you are really going to get a lot out of this book. So please go out and get it. You will not be disappointed. Beauty, thank you and congratulations.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Jason.
Okay. Have a wonderful day. And you guys sit tight, because when we come back, right here on the link, we're going to talk to the public auditor of our great island. BJ Cruz is standing by, and he is next.
The KUAM Podcast Network is back and on demand, featuring a great variety of podcasts